Hey everyone, welcome to the show. My name is Allison and I am your Film Bro girlfriend. Today we are talking about a bunch of things happening in the film culture world that I want to talk about. Nothing specific. I thought I was going to come into this episode talking about one specific thing, but honestly, we had so many updates this last week with things that I just want to talk about those things. So first and foremost, Dune 3. The trailer dropped right after the Oscars, as did the posters. And they had, I think, 9 posters of the characters. It was Timothée Chalamet's character, Paul Atreides, Zendaya as Chani, Florence Pugh, and then also, big reveal, Robert Pattinson as, I don't know what his character's name is, but he looks sick. And all of them are in this kind of dried clay, big blown up photo of them. So that dropping right after the Oscars and how bad his press run was the last couple of weeks was definitely calculated in the best way, though. He definitely did that correctly. Thank you to that team at Dune. So that comes out in December, right before Christmas. And something to know about me, I'm sure I'm probably going to get comments about this. I am not a Marvel fan. I don't know if I covered that in the prologue episode, but I am not a Marvel fan. So this whole Doomsday double feature trying to be Barbenheimer of Barbie and Oppenheimer back in 2023, I just don't buy it. It's not going to be me. I will not be seeing Doomsday, that film. I'm not a Marvel girly. I'm actually avidly against it. Ever since the first Avengers movie came out, I saw it in my apartment when I was living alone in college. My college friends showed it to me, and I just did not understand the hype. After that, I really did not see any Marvel films after that. I think I saw Thunderbolts, which I actually thoroughly enjoyed because Florence Pugh was in it. But other than that, it's just not. That's not my thing. So I am going to be sat in an IMAX theater for Dune 3 that whole freaking weekend, and I cannot wait. Cannot wait. It's going to be so sick. Now let's talk about the trailer. Florence Pugh looks incredible. Paul, it's supposed to be, 17 years later, so we see his sister, played by Anya Taylor-Joy. Chani and Paul are clearly together. They're having a child. Chani says, what should we name our daughter? And I know we should not be, if you follow along with the Dune movies, you should not be on Paul's side. But man, Hans Zimmer, baby. Hans, baby. He came in with that score and he had Timmy chanting that Fremen chant. And you guys, the fact that we are getting that chant on the Dune score as a specific track, probably more than that, is incredible. Hans definitely saw that he didn't get that Oscar nom last year for Dune Part 2, the score, because they deemed it too close to the score for Dune Part 1. So he was ineligible. He was like, let me cook, baby. And man, just from the score alone in the trailer, I know this score is going to friggin' hit. I'm so excited. He did an interview and he came out saying that apparently this score is going to be very, very different from the other 2 scores. It's going to have a different feel. It's going to be very different. And I know that man be coming for the Oscar, and I will be sad. That score is going to hit so hard, and I cannot wait. And if you have not checked out the Dune Part 2 score, and honestly Dune Part 1, it's pretty good, but honestly the Dune Part 2 score, especially the track called Worm Ride, and if you know that scene that I'm talking about, which I'll talk about anyway, is the scene where Paul finally rides a worm after going through all these Fremen, challenges and to get through all these things to become a Fremen, to be part of their group. That's the last thing, if he can ride a worm. And then of course, after he rides it, and it's all very practical. There's a lot of CGI in that scene, but also if you look behind the scenes and watch a video of how they create him falling from the sand dune onto the worm, they literally had trucks and huge barrels with trucks attached to them that pulled out the sand. So that actually is not Timothy, I don't think. Maybe either him or a stuntman literally falling into the sand riding the worm, and then obviously they put the CGI in for the worm. That scene, seeing that in IMAX for the first time, I will never forget it. I was blown away. And just so you have some context of how I saw Dune, I saw Dune Part 1 the same day I saw a week prior advanced screening of Dune Part 2. So I saw Dune Part 1 at home, then went and saw it in IMAX literally that night in a packed theater. That was probably the best movie-going experience I've ever had in my life. I don't know if anything will top it, honestly. I really don't. It was so incredible, especially that scene. And I was working at AMC at that time. So, Dune was out for quite a long time. And anytime I heard that score coming and I was in the hallways, like I was an usher, I would be in concessions, I would be a greeter at the top, at the beginning of the theater taking tickets. If I was ushering and I heard that score going off or about to, like I saw that movie so many times in theaters. I think it was like 10 or 11 times I saw it because I was working in a movie theater. It was free tickets. Like I was able to go basically whenever I wanted. I would run down the hallway and run into whatever theater was happening just to see that worm ride scene. If you guys have not seen that or listened to that score, go in your car, go take a little ride and put on that track full blast. I'm telling you, you will feel like you can do anything. It is the most incredible track on that score, and Hans being gypped for that Oscar nom, unreal. So I know my man be coming and cooking, and he is going to literally blow us away in December. I cannot wait for that album to drop. So along with the trailer that dropped, they also dropped a video of the cast reacting to the trailer. And the first thing is Florence Pugh with her cute little blonde hair and her cute little nose ring. And she's just doing her like iconic Florence Pugh not in a movie face where she's like, oh. And it's incredible. It's just great. And you see Jason Momoa, you see a bunch of people in that movie just reacting to the trailer. And it's so stupid of a video, but honestly, that got me hyped. I want to see more stuff like that. Give me the cast sitting in a movie theater, watching their trailer, reacting to it. I am all in. Give me that content all friggin' day. So if you haven't seen that, please go watch that video. It's incredible. So I do hope I will be grabbing the Paul, Chani, and Florence Pugh, and hopefully Robert Pattinson posters. They're blown up faces of those posters for Dune. I very much hope I can find those at some point and get them up. And just so you know what's behind me if you're watching on video, I still have Wuthering Heights up, the poster behind me. And then I also have the new Forbidden Fruits poster up. And it's so, so cool. I know you can't see it that well in the video, but I'll put up a photo here. It's somebody's mouth with their tongue hanging out and charms of all the little fruits of the names of the characters in that movie. That comes out this Friday. Hopefully this will not come out before Friday, but it comes out this weekend. Please go see it. It looks like it's going to be like witchy and culty, and it's going to be so great. A lot of really great female actresses in it that I really, really love. I'm a big fan of the Archie universe, as I think I got into in the prologue, but Lily Reinhart is in it, Lola Tung from Summer I Turned Pretty, and a couple other people, but I'm really, really excited for that movie. It's going to be, I think, an instant cult classic, honestly, in the girly horror witchy genre. So the next thing, Zendaya wore her 2015 Oscar dress to the LA premiere of the drama. It's giving white wedding dress. So she reused what she wore at the 2015 Oscars. And the whole theme of this whole press tour was really, really cool. She's been in white wedding dresses. She's been sporting her wedding ring. We still don't know if she has confirmed whether her and Tom Holland have gotten married. That whole press tour is really cool. All the videos of her and Rob doing video is really, really fun. And I know that movie's going to be really, really cool. They're keeping the plot twist really under wraps, which is exciting because like no one knows what it's going to be. So that does come out April 3rd, next Friday. Go see that. I'm very, very excited for that. And Rob Pattinson actually attributed to him getting the role in Dune 3 to Zendaya. Rob and Zendaya are in 3 movies coming out this year: the drama, Dune 3, and the Odyssey. And I think she also has like a couple more movies maybe, and maybe Rob too. But this is a big year for them. I'm really excited to see them together. I think they got great chemistry. They're going to be really interesting, and it's going to be a lot of fun. The next thing, Ryan Gosling, the man that he is, recreated his La La Land poster, which, if you don't know, he famously didn't think it was cool enough to do his little jazz hand correctly and have his hand fully diagonal. He had it a little like bent down. And if you see that poster of La La Land, him and Emma Stone are doing, a dance move. And he has said recently, not too long ago, that he really regretted not doing the straight hand. So they went back to the spot in LA and recreated that poster just so he could redo his hand for Project Hail Mary. And they added Rocky in, the alien. It's a very, very cool poster. I really, really want to go find that, honestly. I really want that poster in my repertoire. But I just love that they go back to something from, 10 years ago to recreate, because I know that he was very much not happy about his little hand. So that was really cool. I really loved seeing that video, and they did a behind the scenes video where he talks about it and how they recreated it. So that was really cool. You guys, I woke up yesterday on Wednesday, March 25th. It is the day that in the books of Lord of the Rings, Frodo destroys the One Ring. I woke up, check Instagram. I'm still in bed, and I see Peter Jackson on my little phone screen saying he has an announcement. And he pulls in Stephen Colbert to bring in this announcement that they are making another Lord of the Rings movie that takes place 14 years after Frodo passes away. And it's Merry, Pippin, and Sam re-embarking, I think with Sam's daughter, re-embarking on the exact same steps they took on their adventure 14 years prior to destroy the ring. And they find that there was a secret hidden that would have made that adventure 14 years ago possibly fail. And Stephen Colbert and his brother are writing the script. If you know anything about Stephen Colbert, that man loves Lord of the Rings. He loves J.R.R. Tolkien. He loves everything about that universe. This man, his show is ending, which is so sad. But now he gets to do this, and they're doing that movie after The Hunt for Gollum. It's really funny that this is coming at this time now. I have been unemployed for almost 2 years, and I was employed for like 4 months, and then I lost my job again in January. I mean, it's been a hard time for me. And honestly, the comfort movies I had the last time I was unemployed until this new time were kind of like a little traumatic. I'm not going to lie. I watched There Will Be Blood a lot because I was just so angry. And I watched a lot of films that have this undertone of anger. And it really was comforting to me because it was like, wow, like it's not just me feeling this. Whereas this time I'm just like, not more or less angry, more or less sad. I just need something that's more like calm. So, quick story. When I went to Florida back in February, right after I lost my job, I went to go visit some family. And we did Mardi Gras at Universal Orlando, me and my cousin Joe. Shout out, Joe. You're a real one, bro. Love you. We had the best time. I ended up being there for a week because my flight got canceled, so it got extended a couple of days. I ended up spending a whole week with my aunt, my uncle, my grandmother was also visiting, and with my cousin Joe. And we were staying at my aunt's house, and I was staying in the mother-in-law suite with my cousin. And he was working from home. He works remote. And every single day that we were there, not at Universal, because we went to Universal like a lot that trip, which was phenomenal. If you have not been to Universal for Mardi Gras, definitely go. I think it ends like next week, but still go next year. It's an incredible event. It's such a party. We had the best time. And I'll get more into Universal stuff later on this video. I'm very excited later on in the show. So every day we watched Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, Return of the King. We watched all three. And then we went into, which I had never seen before because I was really against it, because I don't really like Martin Freeman, but we watched all three of the Hobbits and I loved them. I knew that Orlando Bloom was in it, and he's an OG crush of mine since I was like 12 years old. But I know that all of them were in it, and Gandalf, Ian McKellen, the great Ian McKellen as Gandalf. Incredible. I loved those movies. I like them a lot more than I thought. But we spent every day watching one of those movies. We rewatched Fellowship a couple of times, I think. And I would go to bed every night watching Fellowship of the Ring. And ever since that trip, today is March 26th, I have been watching Fellowship of the Ring to go to sleep just because it's such a comforting movie. And just to be in this time of being like back into Lord of the Rings so heavily. And, I've loved it since I first saw it when I was, 10 years old when it came out in 2001. I really love those movies so much, but I kind of fell out of them for a little bit. And now I'm back in and I have not stopped. It's just an incredible time that we're living in, that we get all these new movies and then also, still revisiting the old ones. And it's just a very exciting thing. So I'm really, really excited for that. The next thing, and I don't know if this is controversial or not, but I have some thoughts. The new Harry Potter trailer dropped yesterday for the HBO series. And I didn't watch it right away. I watched it this morning. And I watched it while brushing my teeth and I was crying the whole time. Not for the reason you think. I just don't know how I feel about this. I feel like it's going to maybe be good, but I love these books so much and I love the original movies so much. I mean, we grew up with them. I remember when the last two movies were coming out, me and my cousins actually slept on the streets of New York City, waiting for the New York premiere at Lincoln Center. And it was such a cool experience, but it was like, we're never going to get that again. We're never going to get the midnight releases of the movies. We're never going to get the midnight releases of the books. That was a very special time in my life. And right before the last movie came out, part 2, which was part 1. It was part 1 because it was in the summer. Right before part 1 came out, I was so upset about this part of my childhood ending that I got my first tattoo, which is actually, I'll put a photo in, but my friend Cass drew this awesome tattoo for me that looks like a crescent moon with the 3 stars at the top of every Harry Potter page in the middle and a little paw print. And it looks like Tim Burton did something to the moon. I love that tattoo so much. But, we slept on the streets of New York before the premiere with all of my cousins. I got a tattoo. Part 1 came out in the summer. Part 2 came out in November. And just watching the trailer this morning, I was like, wow, it really is the end of an era. Like, we are never going to be able to capture that magic that happened back then ever again. It's just not. And this trailer looks pretty good, but I do have issues with it. I think the kids look great. I think they're going to do a great job. I think that they're going to have more to do and be able to be more accurate to the books, given that it's going to be a series and not, a 2.5-hour movie. I think the casting is a little off with some of the characters. And, it just made me think about the amount of actors and actresses that are no longer with us. Like, I can't imagine anyone else being Professor McGonagall other than Maggie Smith. I can't imagine it. And I can't imagine anyone being Snape other than the great Alan Rickman, R.I.P., John Hurt, and also Robbie Coltrane as Hagrid. I saw Nick Frost as Hagrid, and honestly, the voice sounds good. He's probably going to do a decent job. But honestly, the costume and the wig just look like it's wearing him. Whereas with Robbie Coltrane, like, it didn't look like that. And I'm just a little worried about it. And even like the actress playing, I think, Molly Weasley looked a little too young for me. I don't know. Here's the problem with us millennials that grew up with these series and these movies. I think we're just so used to who we had in the first set of movies that, like, anyone trying to be them, it's just not gonna work. I don't know. I just think we're gonna have a big problem with it. I don't think we're gonna like it as much as the movies. And obviously we're biased. I'm not saying we're not. We definitely are. But I just don't know if it's gonna work for me. And I'm also a little worried about the timeline that they put out. So this comes out this Christmas. I will be watching. Best belief. I will be watching because Harry Potter it means so much to me and so many people, in my generation. I'm sure we will all be watching, but we will be judging. Unfortunately, it just is what it is. It's just not going to be our generation's Harry Potter. It's always going to be Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint, Emma Watson. But that being said, their timeline that they put out is every 2 years. So they need like a 2-year turnaround time to shoot each season, which will be each book. When the movies were coming out, I think it was every year or two. Sorcerer's Stone 01, Chamber of Secrets 02, Prisoner of Azkaban 04, Goblet of Fire 05, Order of the Phoenix 07, Half-Blood Prince 09, Deathly Hallows Part 1 2010, and Part 2 2011. Now, here's the thing. That's 10 years in between with 7 books, 8 movies. So that makes sense. I mean, the actors, they grew up basically being almost the same age as the characters in the books for the original 3 actors. With this, there's a couple of years, there's a 2-year, jump between Chamber of Secrets and Prisoner of Azkaban, whatever. They still looked age appropriate. There was a 2-year gap between Goblet of Fire and Order of Phoenix. They still looked the same, not the same, but they looked like there was a significant gap where it made sense. And then there was a 2-year gap between Order of the Phoenix and Half-Blood Prince. And then just one between Half-Blood Prince and Deathly Hallows Part 1. And then obviously they did Deathly Hallows at the same time. I just am a little worried that like the kids are going to get a little too old with this 2-year turnaround time. And also I'm having the same worry that like maybe some of the actors are, for the professors are a little too old. And like, is it going to be the same thing that happened to us with Richard Harris dying after Chamber of Secrets that had to get replaced by Michael Gambon? And he passed away too. The amount of people in this series that have passed away from the movies, it's just crazy. And I feel like we're going to have the exact same thing again with the TV series. I'm a little worried. I really am. And I don't know how it's going to look. There's a lot of scenes in that trailer that look very similar to the movies. So it's like, is it really? I know it's going to be different, but also like, is it going to be different? And also, who's doing the music? I wonder if it's John Williams again. John Williams didn't do all the music for all of the movies. He did the first 3. Then it went to Patrick Doyle for Goblet of Fire. Nicholas Hooper did do Order of the Phoenix and Half-Blood Prince. And then Alexandra Desplat did Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Part 2, who just recently did Frankenstein. If you haven't seen that movie, go see it. That was really good. But they all took inspiration from what John Williams did for the first 3, at least from the first one, and did their own spin on it. All of the scores for those movies are incredible, you guys. You need to listen to them. They're some of my favorites ever. Now, the music for the new one, how could I forget this? Hans Zimmer is doing the music for the new series. Well, I mean, as you guys heard earlier in this show, you know how I feel about Hans. That's my guy. So I feel like Hans has been doing he did some of the music for James Bond. He took over for Pirates of the Caribbean after the first one. He did Dead Man's Chest Forward. And he took inspiration from those prior franchises and kept it in his music and then also added his own spin onto it. So I do think he's going to keep something from the original John Williams score and just add his own thing to it, because I know that he respects franchise history like that. And I know he's going to do a good job because it's Hans. When does he not? He can do literally anything. He is the new, like this next generation of John Williams. Like he is the next John Williams. He's just incredible. So I know he's going to kill it. I'm just so worried that it's going to feel so different and feel so just weird for us millennials, man. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm weary. I'm weary in this new series, but it is what it is. It's going to happen, and we'll see what happens on Christmas. And like the fact that they're putting it out on Christmas, like they know that they're baiting us. They are baiting us millennials because they know that we all think that Harry Potter movies are Christmas movies, because they are. Like from the first one all the way through, I think all of them are, no matter what. There's Christmas elements in a lot of those movies, but it's just at the end of the day for us and my generation, like, it's just comfort. And that's like what we do. So last thing, guys, this is big. This is actually big. I'm very excited for this. Arrow Video is a physical media distributor. They put out a lot of Blu-rays, 4Ks. They announced this week that they are releasing a Blu-ray and 4K standard and deluxe edition of the entire series of Stranger Things. Netflix does not put out physical media, because why would they? They want you to pay for a subscription to keep their titles and their content on their platform for you to pay to see. They're never going to put out physical media. The fact that we are getting this is huge. And now let me say also, Guillermo del Toro, thank God for that man, also is putting out a special edition of Frankenstein, because I think he put it in his contract that he wanted physical media for that movie, even though it is a Netflix exclusive movie. This is really exciting though. I'm going to share with you guys exactly what comes with the deluxe edition and what it's retailing for, but it comes out July 28th of this year. When I saw it, I'm like, for the physical media collectors like me, this is huge. It's a huge series. It's their most successful one, I think, probably. And it's just such a moment in time. I mean, physical media has had low numbers over the last couple of years, but it has skyrocketed in the last, I would say, year or so, because it's having a resurgence, which is so exciting. Like, keep physical media alive, guys. I've always been a collector. I've always collected, VHS tapes. I still have 2 VCRs, DVDs, Blu-rays. I still need to get a 4K TV and a 4K player. I do have, I think the only thing I have in 4K is the Criterion Collection, Shape of Water, just because it's such a beautiful piece of physical media, but I do need to invest in that like very, very soon. So, Netflix and Arrow Video are proud to present all 5 seasons of Stranger Things for the first time on home video. This definitive dimension-splitting deluxe collection, features brand new artwork, more than 5 hours of bonus features, a 148-page art book, plus memorabilia from across the Stranger Things universe. Product features 25-disc deluxe edition contents. Here it is. A 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray presentation, Dolby Vision, of all 42 episodes across 5 seasons and 25 discs. Original DTS HD MA 5.1 surround and stereo audio for all episodes, plus additional Dolby Atmos for seasons 4 and 5. Optional English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing. Optional audio description tracks. Deluxe packaging, including brand new wraparound box artwork by Juan Ramos. Interviews with the cast and crew. Behind the scenes featurettes. Set tours. Bloopers. Palace Arcade coin, that's fun. Self-adhesive Hellfire Club patch, exclusive Hellfire Club D20, 25 art cards from all 5 seasons, 5 double-sided posters featuring original artwork by Kyle Lambert, reversible sleeves featuring brand new artwork by Juan Ramos and original artwork by Kyle Lambert, double-sided fold-out Hawkins map, and a 148-page perfect bound art book, including original design sketches, concept art, storyboards, and new writing from the Duffer Brothers, Sean Levy, Andrew Stanton, and more. This is so cool. And they also have a standard edition, which I don't think has all of those featurettes. Also, the deluxe edition of the 4K retails for $230. The complete series non-deluxe edition 4K is $200. Why would you not get the deluxe for another $30 to get all those extra features, though? That's beyond me. And then the deluxe edition of just the Blu-ray retails for $215, and the complete series without the features is $180. Now, the non-deluxe edition includes 25 discs of all 42 episodes across 5 seasons, and then all the same, the surround audio, all that. Interviews with the cast and crew, behind the scenes featurettes, set tours, bloopers, image galleries, trailers, collector's booklet, reversible sleeves featuring original artwork by Kyle Lambert, and double-sided poster featuring original artwork by Kyle Lambert. So here's the thing. You get that booklet, you get extra posters, you get art cards, you get all this memorabilia in the deluxe edition. If you are a physical media owner like me, and you like those little like tchotchkes and just extra things to keep for those things, the extra $30 is not going to kill you, I just think that's really, really cool that they're doing that in general, just because, like I said, Netflix doesn't do physical media. So the fact that they're putting out their biggest show on Blu-ray and 4K with all these extra features, like, I really hope that it does well, those sales. I will be purchasing, hopefully, at some point. But I really hope that means that we're just going to get more in the future. I mean, physical media needs to stay alive. And I'll say this till, I'm blue in the face, and I'll probably keep saying it over the next, however many episodes. We don't know what streamers are going to take on and off. Like, things are not forever. Even things that you buy on Amazon Prime Video to stream, if they lose their licensing to it, no matter whether you paid the $25, $20, $10 to buy that movie or TV show, if they lose their licensing through Amazon, it's gone. Like, too bad that you spent that money. They're not going to give you a refund for it either. But if you have it on DVD or Blu-ray in your own home and a player, if that goes off of streaming, I know it's convenient, obviously. And don't get me wrong, I've bought movies that I fully have on DVD and Blu-ray. I bought on streaming because I'm sitting in bed and I'm like, I don't want to get up. I have money. I'm just going to buy this $5 movie that I'm going to watch all the time. Who cares? But I'm telling you, if you don't own it physically in your home, you're not guaranteed to it. And that's not just Amazon, that's Paramount, that's HBO, that's Netflix, no matter what. And I know, there's things specific to those streamers that you may not be able to own, which again brings me back to why this is so cool. If this does well, then I can see Netflix and other streamers being like, hey, you know what? Maybe we should put out that Blu-ray of that specific series, of that specific movie. If it's popular enough, I think that they would be able to get those sales. It's just a physical media collector's dream. So it's really exciting for physical media collectors and for the future of physical media and, how streamers are going to handle these things. So it's very, very exciting. And now it's time for my weekly crush list. My physical media recommendation of the week. Pre-order the Stranger Things deluxe set on Arrow Video. I will put the link in the description down below. I also think you should get the Forbidden Fruits theatrical poster. It is so sick. Go get it if you can. And also Marty Supreme came out on Blu-ray on A24. If you didn't see that movie, I know a lot of people are hating on Timothée Chalamet right now. I will ride with him until the cows come home. I love that movie. That score will amp you up. That score is so good, you guys. Go get the Blu-ray or 4K on A24. Also, any of the DVDs from A24, they are really doing the physical media really right. They really are. I have a couple of things from them. I have the Lighthouse Special Edition, Midsommar Special Edition that was gifted to me by a wonderful friend of mine, and it's just so beautiful. I also have, After Sun, Materialists, Lamb. I saw the TV Glow, We Live in Time. They have beautiful artwork, beautiful little art books in there, and the DVDs are wonderful. They have a lot of special features. Wonderful company putting out physical media. I just wish they would do more. I want all of their films to be able to collect on physical media. I want that. A24, if you were listening, which I know you are not, but maybe you will. Put out more of your movies, please. I want more physical media from you. Thank you. Next is the media to consume. I am really loving that Florence Pugh is back in the repertoire with, Dune. I love having Florence Pugh around. So I really want to recommend her episode of No Taste Like Home with Anthony Porowski. He did an episode, I think it's the first episode of his, food travel series. He takes Florence Pugh around to different parts of the UK and shows her different ways to make dishes that were important to her and her family. And then at some point, they also go all the way back generations in her family history to find that someone else in her family was also named Florence, which was so cool. No one in the family knew. It was her great-great-grandmother or something like that. It's just a wonderful episode. Florence Pugh is just being the ultimate Florence Pugh in the best way. And not that there's any bad way for Florence Pugh to be Florence Pugh. She's just a wonderful human being. And it's just a wonderful episode. I think that series is really underrated. And I feel like no one's really talking about it. I don't know if there's a season 2. I think we need more shows like that. It's very wholesome and just it's lovely to look at the scenery and look at the food that they, end up eating and just everything that they talk about in there. I just cannot recommend that enough. I also want to recommend Matthew Lillard Eats His Last Meal on Mythical Kitchen on YouTube. He did it as promo for Scream 7. We know Matthew Lillard as this very funny, energetic dude. And he got on that episode and chose emotional vulnerability. He is so good in that episode. He talks about his father that's either dealing with dementia or Alzheimer's, I forget which one, and how one of the meals was the meal that his father used to make every Christmas, which was steak and eggs. And you see Matthew talk about grief. And they have this very vulnerable moment where the both of them, the host and Matthew, are crying, and just in such a beautiful way. I don't want to give more than that. Just go watch that episode. It's really worth the watch. And it made me cry and just makes you think about death and grief. And, I don't think that's talked about enough in our culture. And it's weird. And I don't know why. I think about it all the time and people think I'm weird for it, but it's a part of life. Like, even the opening thing to that show is, we have two things in common. We're all going to eat and we're all going to die. It's a great show talking about how we deal with grief as a culture. So I really recommend that. And then the last thing I recommend is Project Hail Mary. I saw this in IMAX on Sunday and it blew me away. They used no green screens. They made all of the sets themselves. The alien is a puppet and, there is some CGI in there, but it is a beautiful film. There's a great scene where you see what they call astrophage, which is something, some kind of molecule thing. Guys, I'm not a scientist, clearly, but it's attacking the sun and eating away at the sun. And they did this thing that I was listening to a podcast where the directors were talking about how they made this one scene. They removed some filter from a lens and then, shot this scene with Ryan with all the crazy cages and lights. And they were able to make it look like there's red astrophage everywhere. It's incredible. Like, the way that they made this movie is insane. And I just love that we're back to doing practical things in film. And it was like the number one movie of 2026 so far, the number one release. It did insanely well, and for good reason. Go see it in IMAX. The score is incredible. The sound is incredible. The visuals are insane. You need to see this on the biggest screen that you possibly can with the loudest speakers. It is worth your time, and I promise you will not have a bad time. And the entire score is done by Daniel Pemberton, who also did Materialists. He did a couple other things, but that score is incredible. It's like a 38-track album. Highly recommend. I've been listening to it all week in my car. I can't stop. It's incredible, especially the track You Were Loved, in parentheses, Burial. When that scene happened, I looked over at the friend I was with seeing this, and I was like, the score in that scene is so, so good. And listening to it even in the car, incredible. So I cannot recommend that enough. And the last thing is not film related, guys, and this is what I wanted to bring into this too, which is a little bit of me. I love nails. So my nail recommendation of the week is Lights Lacquer Coney Island, which is this awesome rich mango. What do they describe it? Rich mango yellow polish with a cream finish. And also my bottle says Letty, but they renamed it to Bearded Lady, which is a bright jade green polish with a cream finish that dries matte. I also want to give out a shout out to that whole collection. It was the Funhouse collection that they did in 2022. They don't have We Go Together, which is bubblegum pink polish with a hollow finish, or Big Fish, which is an ocean blue polish with a hollow finish. It's probably not restocking and it is sold out, but they still have Bearded Lady, Coney Island, like I just showed you. And they also have Tightrope, which is an electric purple polish with a cream finish that dries matte. And also That's the Ticket, which is a bright orange red nail polish with a cream finish. They still have all those four in stock. They are all perfect for summer. I also want to give a shout out to Different Dimension Counting Stars, but I did that over a just black nail polish last night and I am in love with it. It's just giving me, I don't know, I'm in a spacey mood. So that is my weekly crush list. This episode was really, really good. I was really worried about not having a main topic or something to talk about, but there was so much happening this week with releases and announcements and things happening all across the spectrum of what I want to talk about on the show. I thought this was really special. And I didn't think I would be able to talk that much about these things, but thanks for listening, guys. I really appreciate it. And I can't wait to talk to you guys next week. I'm not sure what that will be about yet, so you'll have to stay tuned for next week's episode to find out. But until then, have a great week. Keep cinema alive. Bye, guys.